welcome back to Cosmic Kickback, the galaxy's favorite talk show. My name is Josh. I'm your host. With me, as always, is my co-host,
Nicholas.
Nick?
Hello?
Nicholas? Nick?
Either or.
Either or. All right, Nick. We're rocking with Wes Anderson today.
Yes, we are, dude.
Dude.
I think this is the first time we've reviewed a Wes Anderson movie, bro.
I think, actually, you're 100%
Because the one
right.
before was The French Dispatch. I
still
totally
haven't
missed
seen
that
it.
in theaters.
Yeah, I missed it as well.
Bro, it came and went, and I feel like
the same thing happened with this.
I'm glad I saw this in theaters. Yeah, I was supposed to go see it with my family, like maybe the week or two after it got out. Something came up, but then I was able to go with my mom and see it in theaters.
Yep.
And I feel like Wes Anderson's movies, like they're in theaters for like three weeks, like tops, bro.
Why is it like that?
I don't know. I hear about the movies and then I hear again and they're like, it's coming to digital, and I'm like, what?
That's exactly
like,
what
what
happened to this one. Yeah. I saw this and I was excited to see it. I was like, oh damn, I'm definitely gonna see this.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, within the week of seeing it, I saw an announcement. It's like, it's going to be on digital. It's on digital right now as we speak.
Yes.
You can go rent this on digital.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's good. Like, it's really accessible, but it's also like, damn, like, I feel like this is a movie you should see in the theater, because Wes Anderson is very, very much like a filmmaker's filmmaker, bro. He is so in his own world with his craft and stuff.
Every single choice is like deliberate, like everything.
Yeah,
little tiny things.
I agree. He honestly, he might be on the level of like Kubrick, where he everything is down to the very last detail, like you said.
Hey, bro, if you're this is like what I imagine a perfectionist is.
I agree.
Like,
I wonder what it's like being on the set with him, because I've seen behind the scenes, and like I feel like most of the time directors are chill when they've made a couple movies. They're like, I do this, but I would like to pick his brain. It'd be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know why. I wonder. I don't know off the top of my head what studio produced this or released this for them.
Focus Features.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
And then Paintbrush.
Okay, so
I remember.
Maybe it's because they're smaller.
Yeah.
That's probably why they can't have it in theaters.
That's a good. Honestly, that's probably the best reason I could possibly think of. Warner Bros. I could see would buy out all the theaters. Yeah. Because Barbie just came out, so this is definitely not in theaters.
Yeah, that might be the
possibly still could be. Maybe at the dollar theater.
Yeah, that's true. I just wish. I feel like this movie could actually have a pretty good run, but then again, there's other big movies coming out this month.
Yeah, this summer is crazy.
It's just at least he got it a couple weeks before Barbie and all the other big things.
That's true. And it's still in the summer. This came out June, July, early July.
Yeah. So you can, I would recommend, if you have a chance to see this in theaters, see it.
If you were even remotely a fan of Wes Anderson and you can find a Showtime, go see this. It's really worth it.
And if you can't, I guess at least it's accessible, like you said. Yeah. That's good.
It's on streaming.
But yeah, I think because of that, we should probably just go full in spoilers with this, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's been out for a while, a couple weeks at least, maybe a month.
Yeah, dude, I'm kind of nervous because this is our first Wes Anderson film, and I feel like this one. How are we going to talk about this? It's very, I don't want to say it's paced weird. I think it's paced great. But the way it's edited.
It's the way it's presented. It's presented in a way that's...
It's like a story within a story.
And it takes you a second. I think, I haven't rewatched it yet. I think it would benefit with the rewatch. Because it took me the first... Because it goes back in between Color, which is the play, because it's presented as a play.
Yeah.
And then Black and White, which that is the part that actually looks like a play. But that's the part that is behind the scenes of this story that is a play. So it took me a second to realize what was happening. That's because when it would go to a black and white section, I'd be like, wait, is this...
I'd have to sit up.
Yeah, I was hang on.
Okay, so...
I was so this is the writer. I was the guy that wrote the play that we're watching. And I was it took me a second. And I was wait, so is this the act? And it took me two of the black and white sections. The second black and white section to pop up is when I was okay, hang on, I get it now.
Yeah.
So because of that, I feel like I probably missed out on stuff, but in the first section because of that. But yeah, I think it's a very cool way to have a movie, to show it in that way. I love when there's always like twists on ways to present a movie. I think it keeps things fresh.
Yeah, I think it was very reinventive of him.
I agree. I mean, Asteroid City, it takes place in a play. Yeah. It takes place in like the desert, like what, New Mexico?
Yeah, like the California, like New Mexico, Nevada desert area.
Yeah, and it's a ton of different people from like different walks of life all dealing with different stages and forms of grief.
Yeah, grief, trauma, and like life.
Yeah,
in general.
and they all are trapped together in this one place because there happens to be a UFO landing at this little convention that traps everyone there.
Yeah, and they have to quarantine them.
They do. Oh yeah, they do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much said in the trailer. But I think even with that, there's still so much more to the story. There's so many. Yeah. There's more layers than it first presents itself.
It's like an onion.
It's like an ogre.
Yeah, it's just like an ogre.
Yeah. So
Shrek actually pulls up.
Yeah, he comes out of the spaceship actually.
Dude, imagine that would have taken me out.
I've been like
so hard. I've been like, what?
Oh yeah, Wes Anderson has yet to make a choice where I'm just like, what the fuck? But like,
I agree actually.
This movie is pretty close to teetering when we see like what comes out of the spaceship.
When it comes out, I'm not gonna lie, I was fully on board.
It looked like, bro. Do you remember Gumby?
Oh,
like
yeah,
the claymation,
the green.
It
thing?
gave me like claymation vibes.
I think it wasn't it? It was definitely stop motion.
It most definitely had to. Yeah, it had to be like a miniature or something.
It reminded me of like Isle of Dogs and like.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen it fully.
That is a really good movie too.
It reminded me of that, and it reminded me of Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh,
because like those are all like, aren't those like
stop motion miniatures? Yeah.
So like because of that, that's like I immediately was like, oh, I love how it's like a mix between like live action and like I love when they mix things like that.
Practical and live action.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
and I think you actually can see this in because they show the behind the scene parts in black and white. When you see the like UFO pull up, the way it comes in like that, and like you see above it. I'm pretty sure that's a practical thing, like 100%. That's like a little miniature that they filmed, and you see it actually being held by one of the actors playing an actor in the behind the scenes like black and white play portion of the film.
Yeah,
you see one of them like pick up a fan, and then they in the black and white scene. I could be wrong. I saw this a couple weeks back, but I think he turns it on, and I think you can see the green or whatever, even though it's in black and white. But like it showed me that I've recognized it as the UFO. So I was like, oh, it is a miniature. And I was like, okay, so that's how they did it. That's cool. Okay. They showed it.
That's so cool.
There's a ton of little things you can like see and miss in these movies.
Yeah.
Like always in Wes Anderson films.
Yeah, I really appreciate the mix of the mix of like practical effects with live action. It is really cool. And I feel like maybe I don't want to say it threw me off on screen, but when I saw it, I was like, oh wow. I was like, it's been a while since I've seen a movie with something like that. Like maybe the most recent is probably Barbie, which I saw after this.
Yeah. Wait. One thing that's funny, I just remembered seeing this. I saw this with my girlfriend Carla, and when the alien first pulled up, everybody was kind of like, "What the hell?" Yeah. But there's a part where the main character, I can't remember his name. I haven't seen this in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah. Well, I was actually just about to talk about the cast.
But what I was gonna say is he's a photographer.
Yeah.
And he takes a picture of it.
Augie.
Yeah.
That's right.
He takes a picture of it. And the alien kind of like poses for a second like, with like the rock.
Yeah,
like,
it like has the meteorite.
Yeah, the meteorite. Yeah, it holds it and it like poses. And when that happened, a couple people in my theater laughed. Like I kind of laughed, like because it was funny. But Carla, she was like, ah! Like she like fucking like she thought it was so funny. She just like laughed like loud as fuck. And then she like covered her mouth because she was trying to. She laughs at like really random things, like things.
So she couldn't contain herself.
Yeah, she thought it was so funny, and she like did 2-3 loud like laughs, and then she realized no one else was laughing that loud. So then she like covered her mouth, and she was like, "Oh my god, like I gotta like chill, I gotta control the laugh," and it was so funny, bro.
Wes Anderson's an artist.
I agree.
You got to laugh,
and that part went hard though. I
know. I love when his little feet come down.
Yeah.
On the contraption, and I'm like.
At first, I was like, "What am I looking at?"
Yeah, I was like, "Is that a chicken foot?" All right, so let's talk about the cast because Wes Anderson movies are always stacked.
Yep,
he works with like most of the same people, but he has some new faces.
There are some new people in this.
Scarlett Johansson, Maya Hawke, Jason Schwartzman, who was with him on his first movie, Rushmore. Margot Robbie has an appearance in this. Sophia Lillis, Tom Hanks, Tony Revolori. He was Flash Gordon in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
You mean Flash Thompson?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What the fuck? Adrian Grody, Edward Norton, Bryan Cranston, Steve Carell, Tilda Swinton, Jeff Goldblum, Jeffrey Wright. He was in the Batman.
Yeah.
I was glad to see him in this. Liv Schreiber, who was actually, what's his name, dude? Wolverine's brother.
Oh, okay.
Saber?
Oh,
Sabretooth?
Sabretooth.
Yeah, he's Sabretooth.
Okay.
He was in this. And so many other people. I couldn't even give them all off.
Yeah,
but those are the main
the movie
faces.
opens. Yeah, the movie opens with Bryan Cranston's like a narrator.
Yeah, he's like, what you're about to watch is a play production written by Edward Norton. Like, he's the writer for this whole play.
Yeah, Edward Norton's the writer.
Yeah.
Anytime Bryan Cranston was on screen, I remember I had just seen a meme from like.
Dude, I've been seeing so many memes.
There's so many Breaking Bad memes all the time. I saw one. You know the scene, the iconic scene where he's like, "Who are you talking to right now?" You know, like that scene. I'm the danger. Yeah, that scene. Dude, it sucks because that scene's been memed so much. It used to hit hard. Like you were like, damn.
Dude, when I first saw the show before everyone,
yeah,
I guess caught on and made memes, like that shit was hard.
It hits hard, and you're like, oh shit, he's really.
That's
like,
how we got the Emmy.
Yeah, and then but now you like look at it, and I like think of memes, but anyway, the meme I saw, I remember it, and it. I showed Carla before we saw this movie, and I forgot Bryan Cranston was in this. So when I saw him, I was like, "Oh my god!" It was making me like laugh because it was that line, like, "Who are you talking to right now?" But the caption was like, "When the kid with like a lazy eye is talking to me," and it's like, "Who are you talking to right now?"
Who are you talking to?
Dude,
that's fucking funny.
So anytime there was a narration part, I like leaned over the car and I was like, "Who are you talking to right now?"
God.
Oh, but no, dude, but he's good in this movie.
I love the other meme where it's like, he's like, "Oh dear God!"
Oh
like,
yeah, Holy Mother of God!
Yeah, it's like when my homie put it in.
Oh my god,
there's so many memes.
I saw one where it was captioned like, "Oh, like dudes be afraid of moaning in front of their girl." It's like, "I be my girl." You're like, Holy Mother of God!
Oh jeez. I remember that meme.
Oh,
no,
dude.
Bryan Cranston is good in this.
No, he is.
One thing I will say, like, I feel like with the past Wes Anderson films, and maybe I haven't seen them all, so I can't say this for sure. I want
to go through the
the catalog for sure. We should do a whole like episode leading up to his filmography.
I agree.
But I feel like with some of his movies, he has like this huge star-studded cast, and I guess the way he writes dialogue or tells them to say it, a lot of the time they sound like caricatures, I guess.
Yes.
You know, they're just like, we just arrived in the city of this. Like,
I think it's definitely intentional. Like it's
for
it's his style.
Yeah, it's his style. But I feel like in this one, like, I wasn't really ever star-studded by anyone, and I felt like they all kind of played their parts perfectly. No one had too much screen time, of course, except like our main character. You said the photographer and his kids. I feel like are the main focus. Yeah, but I feel like everyone played their part, and no one kind of outshone each other. Like it was well balanced.
I completely agree. Actually, now that you mentioned that, because when you see the list of like the cast, you're like, oh my god,
like how are they gonna fit all this shit?
Yeah, and I think it's done in a really like it was done in a way where it's like you would expect most people, like a director that has this cast list, like the Fast and Furious, like they're all like main characters. But in this one, it's not the case. You know, there's like this is like the main character. This is like a sub, character, and then they all are big names on their own right.
Yeah.
And they just play like supporting roles here and there, little parts here and there. Like Jeff Goldblum's in this literally just like as a little gag. Like you can miss him if you're not aware.
Yeah, if you're looking like if you're grabbing popcorn, you could miss it, bro.
You honestly could have his
so many cameos. At that point, they're cameos. Like they're in the movie, but not for that long.
Yeah, and like Edward Norton plays like the writer of the play.
Yeah.
So you only see him in like certain scenes.
In the black and white scenes.
Yeah, the black and white like scenes depicting like what's going on when he was writing this or trying to make this play.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's just like I love the way this movie was crafted and told.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's so different than like a normal. Like you could have told this in a different way, in a way that most people would.
Yeah,
like.
totally. Yeah. I feel like with this one, like it demands you pay attention.
I agree.
And
that's why I want to see it again.
I agree. Yeah, it's so good, dude. I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, if we want to get into the story, like you said, pretty much these people that are all dealing with shit end up in Asteroid City. We got. Let me pull up his name. I think his name is Augie. It's Jason Schwartzman's character, and he's got 4 kids. He's got an older kid. And then he's got 3 little girls. Their mom passed away.
And all the little girls' names are like, they're like what do they call constellations?
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I liked that little touch. I love the whole space theme, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's so refreshing for like Wes Anderson, but like to see how he would do it. But we got August Steinbeck. He's pretty much a photographer. His wife. I think his wife died 2 weeks ago, but he was just telling their kids when they got to the city.
Yeah, and so he's like dealing with that.
Yeah, originally he was on the way to Tom Hanks' house because that's his father-in-law.
Yes,
but then their car broke down, which I never got why. But remember they go to the mechanic, and the guy's like, oh, it's either going to be this really expensive problem or like just a 12-cent part. And then like he lifts the car up on the jack, and you see like a piece of the car fall down, and it's like, I don't know, it has like a charge to it, and it's like spitting everywhere. That didn't look like a car part, and at first I was like, dude, did the aliens like do something to his car? I was like, did they stop him? Like I don't know, like that part just made me like suspicious. Okay, but I don't think that really went anywhere.
Yeah, I think that was just like he was probably like, oh, like let me just have this thing move around. Like I just want it to move.
Yeah, he just
like, even if it like it's clearly
he
not.
Just
a
wanted
car
to be
part.
over the top.
Yeah,
I can see.
Yeah.
But all these other characters, Maya Hawke is like the youth leader.
She's like the of like a church.
Yeah, some like church group. So she has like a bunch of kids that she has to watch over.
And there's actually a funny scene with that because once they see the alien, that's all the kids want to talk about.
Yeah,
I mean, of course. And she's just like, well,
yeah, she's like trying to give a lesson on like whatever they were to talk about, and they were just like, is the alien gonna come back and kill us?
She's like, well, I don't know. That's not on the curriculum. Any other questions?
Yeah,
they're just all asking.
Some kid is like, I made a replica of the alien out of a hubcap.
One kid's like, I wrote a song.
Oh yeah, dude, the song was so fucking hilarious.
It did go hard
because like they're like trying to get the kids' parents like on some type of FaceTime, so they have them like on the TV, and the kids like singing about the alien.
Oh man,
and they're just like,
I love Augie's son is there because he's like really smart. There's a lot of smart kids here for this like
Woodrow.
Of
course, Woodrow
Sanchez.
Such a cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kid actually looks like one of our friends.
He looks like our friend, like in kid form. Like I swear.
He does though. No, when you said like going into this movie, you're like, bro, there's someone that looks like John. I was
he
like,
even kind of like acts like him a little bit. Like he has the same kind of like.
We gotta take him to see this,
bro. I don't even tell him. Just like let him watch it and see if he recognizes.
He'll be like,
like it's like looking in the mirror.
Hold up.
But all the kids are there brought by their parents because they are incredibly smart and have like inventions that they submitted to like a space.
Yeah, it's like a junior stargazer space cadet. Like,
and some of them are like crazy. Like one of them's got like a jetpack.
Yeah,
I love the shot of him like on the jetpack.
It just looks so. Dude, I love the framing of that.
Yeah, I do.
And there's some other kid that makes like some like laser gun. It's like a rail gun.
Yeah,
like it shoots lasers.
And there's one that's like it engraves the moon or something.
Oh yeah, you can like put your like it's like a projector, but for the moon.
For the moon.
That's actually kind of cool.
That's crazy.
I feel like we're actually not that far away from that.
It'll happen. But what I was gonna say is I love how all the little the smart kids like go and talk to each other, and they're like, there's a scene where they're all sitting like in a circle, and they're like, all right, let's play this game where we say like the name of like somebody who's like inspired us or something, and then the next person's got to say that name plus a new one.
Yeah.
And since they're smart, they go through this thing like over and over and over.
Yeah, the scene's like going for a minute.
Yeah, and then they're like, all right, let's reverse, like go backwards now. And I was like, dude, holy shit. Like I was trying to in my head like be like, all right, let me see if I can do this.
I know, yeah, I was trying to do it too.
Yeah, and I was like, at a certain point I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like like even like though it's like it's like in the script, it's still impressive that they like remembered all these, like they practiced it and then they went and did it. I was like,
yeah, and some of the names were like
a take.
Yeah, it is a single take.
And I love how that's one thing I noticed. Wes Anderson likes to he likes to just like let them like act and say their lines. There's like not a lot of like cuts in between like this person and that person. A lot of times they'll have like a monologue of dialogue where multiple actors are in frame and they each like have cues to come in and like out of the shot. And it's very much similar to like actually now I think about like a stage production, like a play. The way like people come in and off like in like there's no cuts on a play. You know, you have to get it all right.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of the takes were filmed in a way where I was like noticing like, oh man, like these people really, everyone had to like perform. That they all had to lock in.
Yeah. Dude, I agree. I think that's good. And I think so many like movies nowadays like are just so quick with like cut editing like to who's talking and stuff.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate how he just kind of, I mean, and it makes sense that it's a play, but he would just frame the shots and like let his actors kind of just like live in the space.
Yeah, I love when
and
that
maybe
happens.
Practice a couple times.
Yeah, I love stuff like that, and like that's always present in Wes Anderson movies.
Dude, also there's a part in this play where Bryan Cranston's like in frame, like they cut to Asteroid City and they're like in front of a gas station. and he's like just standing there while they're talking, and they look at him, and he's like, I don't think I'm in this. And before I got the movie, I was like, what the hell was that? But now I'm like, oh, he just stepped on the stage.
Yeah, like it's just him.
He accidentally stepped on the stage. That was so funny, and it makes sense now. Like, but at first I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
that threw me for a loop when I first saw it. But that part is really funny. Very, very meta.
Yeah. I love the little jokes like that. There's also one near the end where the alien comes back, I think, and returns the meteorite.
Yeah.
And then Augie is like, he's like, this ending doesn't make sense. He's like, this doesn't make sense. Like, what's going on? And I was like, oh shit, they're getting real meta with this. This dude's like breaking it.
Yeah.
And then he like walks to like this like area that we look from the camera angle, looks like there's nothing there. It looks like a wall, but there's like a little like area for the actors to go in and out. And it's like he goes backstage.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to figure out his character, and like
he's talking to Adrian Brody, right?
Yeah. And he's like, I don't get this. He's like, what's going on with this? And that's when Margot Robbie pulls up. She pulls up like right near the end.
Yeah.
And,
dude, like the 1 minute scene.
Yeah, but she cooks.
Yeah,
she cooks in that.
I like the makeup and stuff they gave her. I was like, that's her. I was like, what?
At first, I was like, oh, is that her? And you actually do see her briefly before in a photograph. There's a picture of the mom. Oh. And that was her. And they talk about it. They talk about how.
Damn, he fumbled.
Yeah, he did. Well, because her actress, she was gonna play the wife, and there was gonna be they talk about it in the scene where he's like, there's a scene that was cut where he was gonna like see her in a dream or something.
Yeah.
Because he's like grieving about her and all that, what to do. And she's like, oh, do you not remember your lines? And then she like shows this. They do the scene from like backstage, like on like a balcony.
Yeah.
And she kind of does his lines, and then she delivers hers, and it like helps him like understand the character, like this deleted scene. And I thought that was cool, like a cool way of like bringing it all together, this is a movie about a play, and they're performing the play, and I thought, I was like, oh man, this is cool. I'm like enjoying this.
That's really good, dude.
Got a lot.
You just saying that kind of helped me understand it all more. Because at first I was like, he does walk off, and he's talking to Adrian Brody. He's like, why did I burn my hand? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. Like, why would my character do that? And then Adrian Brody, he gives him some advice. He's like, oh, like, don't try to understand it. He's like, just, I think he said, be the story, and just live the story.
You're doing good.
Yeah, he was just like, figure it out.
You're locked in.
And of course, that's like a metaphor for life. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of existential movies coming out, bro.
Yeah, oh my god.
Of course, with this one, I like that how the alien's not even in it that much. Mm-hmm. He kind of just pulls up. Everyone thinks that they're doomed, and then like everyone just starts thinking about themselves. Like it just brings up questions about like their place in the universe and like, what do we do? I think one of the junior stargazers, it's the girl that Woodrow like ends up making out with. Bro back. Yeah. But she's like, sometimes I feel like I'm more, I guess, at home when I'm out in the atmosphere or the stratosphere. Mm-hmm. She says something like that. Because she feels very like disconnected from Scarlett Johansson, her mom, who's just worried about being like a star. Yeah, she's like a high profile celebrity.
Yes. And I was surprised I don't think it's actually her, but there's like a nude scene in this. Yeah. And it's actually kind of funny. I think it's very meta. I think it's like, because she literally says like, I don't remember the exact dialogue because it's been a while since I saw this, but they're talking about how she has like the nude scene, and she's like asking him for help from across the way, and they're like talking. Yeah,
they have like rooms right next to each other.
And she's saying how like, she's like, oh, they can just get like, they literally say like they can get a body double or something like that for her scene, and then she drops her towel anyway. But then, like, the scene that you see, it's, like, kind of fogged because you're seeing it from an angle where you're looking in, like, a mirror. Yeah. And then it's pointing towards her. And the mirror cuts off her head. So I think they did use a body double. Yeah. And I think they, like, were kind of meta with it by it's, like, literally a line about it. Within the universe, they're talking about it. And then they actually use one. I thought it was kind of funny. Yeah. But
I like when she asks him, she's like, do you want to see me do a nude scene?
And he's just like...
He's like, did I say yes? He's like, my mouth didn't move, but I said yes.
That's how it be.
That's funny.
Actually, speaking on the part about the hand, when he burns his hand, because that's what he's talking about at the end, and then he also does that scene, and it's like, well, why did I do that? Yeah. I didn't even realize this because, like I said, I need to rewatch this again because when I watched it the first time, there's a scene in black and white where the writer Edward Norton is like, I guess, waiting for like. There's a scene where like some dude comes and brings some ice cream.
Yeah, is that when he's like in the cabin? Yeah. And then like that's Jason Schwartzman's character, the actor.
Okay, yeah, and but then they talk about the role, and he asks him, like, this is like within the first 20 minutes of the movie. This is an earlier one.
Yeah.
And he asks him, the writer Edward Norton's like, oh, why do you think he burned his hand? Or like they talk about it, and it's literally talking about something that hasn't even happened. So like we as an audience don't know what they're really talking about yet.
That's why it was kind of hard to follow that.
Yeah,
all I got from that was like homosexual tension.
Yeah,
I think they end up making out or something.
Yeah. So, but then I almost did not even realize that, because they talk about it there, and he gives an answer and explains it, and like they talk about it, and I was kind of like, okay, I don't know what they talk about. But then later on, when I was discussing the movie afterwards with Carla, I was like, oh my God, they talk about it in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bruh. And so that's what I was like, I got to see it again. Like, I need to like see everything now with the context that I know from seeing it.
And the movie's funny. Like
it is funny.
I feel like the comedic timing and stuff, like all the little, there's some parts where it's not even a joke that's happening. It's just like what's happening on screen just makes you laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, do you want to talk about when the alien comes down? They're kind of they're giving like the awards out for the whole like space convention thing.
They're in like a little they're in the little what do they call those?
The crater.
The crater.
They're in the crater.
They're in the crater giving it out. Jeffrey Wright, his character gives a speech.
Yeah.
And I actually think it's actually a pretty good speech, low key.
Yeah, dude, he has the voice, bro.
He does.
I love him as Commissioner Gordon, bro.
Dude, yeah, bro, he's even like the voice in as the Watcher in the animated What If.
Really?
That's his voice.
Wow.
He's like, let's ask the question.
Let's ask the question. Dude, yeah, that totally is him.
Is He's got the voice.
Damn.
But no, he's good in this. And then there's like a part where like they're all talking about like they have to keep them there, and then the kids go like and talk to the all the other scientists, and damn, there's so much in this movie. Holy shit, I'm remembering it all now.
I know, yeah, because
God.
They keep them there, and then they're just like what you saw wasn't real, and the kid's like, yes, it is. And I think they even make a phone call out.
Yeah.
To like get the word out that there's like aliens.
Because they're trying to keep them there. They don't want the UFO stuff to get out.
Yeah.
Which actually, the day we're filming this is so weird. They're actually apparently there's like they're talking about UFOs like at a meeting today.
What the heck?
Like in real life.
It's so weird.
But people hear UFO and they think it means like alien. It just stands for unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
So it could literally
be like a piece of a plane.
It could be a balloon.
It could be yeah.
As if it's unidentified. It could be anything.
It could be a balloon.
Yeah. So
could be.
But no, the alien when he pulls up, I love how everybody's just quiet. I love the green color.
Yeah,
I love the
little
green.
blinking lights off the ship just turned everything green. Because like, of course, in the theater, like everything turns green because that's what's on screen. Like,
and I love the shade of green.
I felt like I was in it, bro.
Bro, imagine you got abducted.
Dude, I thought they were gonna abduct someone. I didn't know what was gonna happen.
I didn't know either. When I saw it, I was like, yo.
I know he looked harmless.
That's who Jeff Goldblum played. Like,
yeah,
he was the alien.
Yeah, he was the alien.
And I didn't know that because I remember I knew he was in this. But you see him like when Augie goes backstage to like talk to Margot Robbie.
Yeah, he like steps off. He walks past him.
Yeah, he walks past him, and I only recognized it was him because I heard his voice. I was like, oh, that's Jeff Goldblum's
What does
voice.
he say? Do you remember?
I think he's just like,
oh, hello.
I don't even remember
like
what he
something.
says. He's just like. He's halfway in his costume, like the bottom half is like the alien, and he's like holding the head, like the mask, and he's just like, I think he's trying to get into character, like he's just like saying random things to get into character, but yeah, kind of funny.
Yeah, I did, bro. Best cameo.
It was. I forgot he was in it. Then when he popped up, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about this over text, like. Of course, the alien looks weird when you first see it, but if what we're watching is a play, he's just like you said, like he's in a costume.
Yeah, so it would make sense.
So it's another sense of like where something practical, or I guess in this case, like a miniature they used,
it's
like
true.
happened on screen.
Excuse me.
Are you good? All right. I mean, I think that's pretty much.
Well, Nick, what do you think? Like the overall, like, because like I think real quick before we like wrap it up, because I mean, I feel like you can really like. Go deep into this movie. I'm sure somebody already has done like a deep dive into like the allegories and stuff.
I was already kind of watching like some videos because when I first saw it, I didn't understand it because I was like, like a lot of stuff happened in this movie, but I feel like not a lot was said. Mm-hmm. But
I was gonna ask you like, what do you think is like the theme or like what it's about? Like really,
I think with the sense of the whole alien coming down and making people question like where they are in this life. I just think it's like more about like what are we here for?
Okay.
I feel like a lot of the film like it didn't specifically bring up questions have been like, oh, like what's our purpose, or like what are we supposed to do here?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it was saying something by like saying nothing, and also by putting it in a play too. It kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say serialized it, but it, I guess, contextualized it. Because also like the movie split up into like acts and scenes. It cuts it up.
What's that one line of dialogue that they repeat over and over at one point?
Do you dare me?
Is that it?
No,
not him. Wait, oh my god, that part was funny.
Dude, that he like jumps off the roof.
Do you dare me to do? They're like, bro, no.
Do you dare me? Do you dare me to climb this
that
cactus?
Kid reminded me of Jaden, like as a kid.
Oh god.
Like Jaden would just, I don't think he ever said that. I'm sure he did at some point. But this dude was just always doing wild things, like for no reason.
You say you dare me.
But no, there was a part where it was one of the black and white scenes where they're, I think it's the writer talking to like a big group of actors, and like that's where you see a lot of the actors.
Oh yeah, it's like lie awake but don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
It was something like that.
Something like that.
It was something about sleeping but like not waking up or not going to sleep.
That, I swear, there's definitely something there.
It's like you wake up but don't fall asleep. I don't know. When I first got that, because then they start chanting it like some cult.
Yeah,
like, lie awake, don't fall asleep. Let me look it up real quick. I don't know. That did kind of perplex me because I was like, okay, like this is very out of theme of like what we're watching.
Yeah,
and that was in black and white.
It was.
So it was.
So that was like
that was backstage.
That was backstage, like before the play was happening or like something. I think the movie. I think it has to do with. I think it's saying, this is how I interpret it.
Okay.
I think all these people are here, and they're all dealing with, like I said, like trauma and grief, and I think what the movie's saying is like. There's no right way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because there's like a big theme for it is how they're talking about, oh, why does like my character do this? And they're like saying like no one gives him an answer and tells him. They're all like saying like, oh, you're doing great, like, you know, all that.
Yeah.
And they're just keep going, you got it. And like Margot Robbie's character doesn't even give him an answer. She just explains a deleted scene, like a dream sequence that was gonna happen in the play that they cut for time. And then he kind of like understands his character more, but he doesn't get an answer. And I think what it's saying is like all these people are dealing with different things, and they're all stuck in one part, and they're forced to really look at themselves and think about it.
Yeah.
So I think what it's saying is that there's no right or wrong way to deal with grief or to do something or like anything. There's no right way. And I think that's further shown by how this film is shown in a way that's weird and different.
Yeah.
There's no right way to tell a story because this one's told through a play, but the play is happening during the movie, and it's like a backstage thing that's like there's time jumps, there's like, you know what I mean? Like there's no right way. I think that's the overall thing.
I could agree with that.
That's what I interpreted it as.
Okay. I actually like yours more.
I literally thought of that. I remember I was talking to Carl and I was like, bro, what is it? And we were just like sitting there. It was like, I felt like I was Oppenheimer and she was like Einstein, and we were just like, and then I legit, she would lay down and go to bed. Then I went to the bathroom and I literally sat on the toilet and I was just like,
you're not the thinker.
No. Bro, I was literally taking a shit and I was sitting there like thinking. And then that's when I came up with this.
You were just like butt naked. Like,
pretty much.
You're like, damn.
I was posing like Ken. But yeah, that's what I interpreted it as.
I like yours more, and I feel like mine's a little lazy because like
I mean, yours
I'm still kind of I'm trying to understand it. So what they were saying is you can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. That's what
okay. Yeah, that's something I don't really know.
I mean, I feel like that could further go with what you're saying. Like you can't, I guess, fully experience something or know how to do it unless I guess you start. Like you can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. Maybe that's too. Maybe that's too on like.
Hey, wake up
straight up. I know we say it all the time.
we always say it, bro. Wake up.
Wake up. I mean, that's true.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I think even if someone is listening to this or watching this and they haven't seen the film, I think you should still see it. I feel like you can get your own interpretation of this.
Oh, totally.
I love movies like this where
there's no wrong answers.
There's no really wrong answers, and plus it's like a story that you can take at face value and it's still like entertaining and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Nick.
Damn. What did you think about the the different vending machines in the motel. You could
Oh
like
my
buy
God,
land.
yeah.
You could buy drinks.
Yeah, Steve Carell's in this.
Yeah, Steve Carell is in this.
I think
he plays the motel manager.
I heard the motel manager was originally going to be Bill Murray.
Yeah, it was.
Which Bill Murray's always in like a ton of Wes Anderson films.
He got COVID, I think, which is why he maybe dropped out. Because there was a promo actually that dropped maybe like a year or two ago. And it was like for Asteroid City, and it was Jason Schwartzman and Bill Murray, and they were just walking through the set, and they were just like, yeah, like it's maybe like 3 or 5 minutes, and they're like Asteroid City is about like life, it's about existentialism, like the universe, like they're pretty much like just promoting the film before the trailer. And Bill Murray's there, he's like, yeah, like I play the motel manager.
Oh, okay.
But then I don't know, I guess maybe he got COVID like
That's probably
when
what
they started
happened.
shooting, and he had to drop out, which sucks because I like Bill Murray.
Yeah,
he's so funny. His comedic timing is on point.
I think Steve Carell does a really good job.
He did a good job too, yeah. And I'm glad to see him flex his like creative muscles
in
something like Wes Anderson, where you have to like where you're on camera for such a long time, you almost like you said, you have to perform.
Yeah, you really do. I like watching this. I remember I was thinking like, damn, a lot of these actors are in like big things, like a lot of like Hollywood like triple budget, triple A like films and stuff like that. So I was like I wonder when the last time they were like challenged to perform like in a way like this.
Yeah, I wonder how different it was.
I'm sure it was.
Instead of like standing in front of a green screen, you're on set, you're in the heat, you got lights on you, like
you're locked in.
It's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed it. I liked how they were selling property.
Yeah,
like the vending machine.
Yeah, he was like for like $10 and change. Like you can buy like a piece of Asteroid City.
It's like over there, that'd be you right there. It's like they're like looking at like the desert.
Yeah, I love how even in the far background, there's like big like plateaus in the desert and stuff. And there's a roadrunner. This thing feels very much like a Looney Tunes cartoon at times, because I think one of the first shots, that's also a puppet too, I think.
Oh really?
It's like a puppet. It's not CG, so it's like a little puppet roadrunner.
Damn, that goes hard.
It says meep meep.
It does.
It's like,
I actually saw I guess it was behind the scenes of the filming of this. Somebody like walks, because like obviously the camera is positioned in a way when filming this that everything is very symmetrical, and like you see the background, like it's in a way that it's in a very specific spot and it moves in a very specific way. So what they did is they moved it in a way that you wouldn't see, because it would break the illusion of the film.
Right.
And they showed how like in the background, the desert, they have like these like plants and stuff far in the background that gives the illusion of depth, that there's like a long thing, and they are actually made like at different sizes, so when they walk to them, they're actually really tall, but since it's like farther away, like it gives this illusion of depth. And it background. I should put it in the description or something to link it, because I'm not describing it that well.
Yeah,
you really have to watch this thing. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know that. Like that's insane to see these practical things used in a way that like can do something that you wouldn't even notice. That's like you wouldn't even know about unless you saw this video.
Nice, dude. Hey, well, we'll link it in the description if you guys
want
to watch it. I'm trying to think of like what else I want to talk about in this movie.
Let me know, because I'm beginning to like forget.
Well, I know, dude. I literally lost my train of thought. Dude, the train in the beginning, when the movie starts off, like I think it's like Last Train to San Fernando or something like that. Like some song starts playing,
yeah,
and it has like the chugging sounds of like a train. We get like the opening credits. That was a miniature train that they drove around, which I really liked, and they had a camera attached to it. I love the whole opening credits, dude. It was very short. It's like a minute or two.
Yeah,
I feel like movies need to start doing like opening credits like that again.
I did like that. That was really fun. It was like kind of a throwback too. Like movies used to open with stuff like that.
Yeah, the opening credits would happen, and then it would just end, and it would be the end.
That's true.
That's cool.
I did like that.
I like that. Yeah. And then the train like lands in Asteroid City, and that's where the story starts and stuff.
I agree. I really love the setting of this movie. I love the colors. I mean, everything is like we said. I mean, it's Wes Anderson. I mean, I'm pretty sure we said this at the beginning too, but like everything is like particular. It's like intentional, little things. Like everything is like, I'm sure there were multiple instances where they were like, okay, hang on, like this needs to be perfect, let's move it like slightly to an inch to the left. And like I would love to see like just be able to like just be on set and watch it happen, because I'm sure there's like a ton of different like very specific things.
Yeah,
but anyway, I feel like I've said all I can say on this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my review right now.
Oh, yeah,
I gave this a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay. Did you write anything for it on Letterboxd?
Yeah, I mean, you want me to read it?
Yeah, we can read it if you
I'll
want.
skim through it.
Oh, wait,
I said it might be what Asteroid City might be my new favorite Wes Anderson movie. It's his creative vision on full effect. I said that the entire set design should win awards. I think that it absolutely should, dude. I talk about what the story's about, and I say how at first I was kind of like, because of how it was edited and seeing it for the first time, I was like, man, the movie isn't really talking about anything. But at the end and after we've talked about it, I think that we both agree that it is talking about something.
Mm-hmm.
And I say I like the opening with Bryan Cranston. I like how the movie had such a dynamic kind of opening credits, and I think that everyone did their part pretty much in the cast. Okay. And Steve Carell did really well.
I agree.
Oh, and then in the spoilers section, I said I love how goofy and different the design of the alien looked. Yeah, that's like my favorite part.
I agree. All right. Let me read what I wrote real quick because I actually forgot I wrote it.
Is it a paragraph?
No, it's not that long.
Okay.
Okay, so I said this bright and vivid film is Wes Anderson ramping up all his signatures for better or worse. Ooh. If you're a fan of Wes Anderson, you'll love this film. If you're not, you'll probably find the plot hard to follow. I had to sit and think about this one a bit before having a realization about the plot I had missed with my initial thoughts. I think this would benefit with a rewatch due to the storytelling structure being a little hard to follow, but I love that. I love that about it, and I think this movie works very well. Of course, the camera work and cinematography is amazing. There are multiple shots that are worthy of awards throughout this film. Then I said potential spoilers below. This is my spoiler part. I said, the movie's filled with people all dealing with different hard situations and trauma. The question being asked is, how are we supposed to deal with it? And the film answers, there's no right or wrong way to do it. At least that's my interpretation of the implicit meaning of this film. I find the structure of this movie to be confusing at first, but once it comes all together, it has a payoff near the end of the film that I felt worked very well.
Okay.
So that's what I wrote. And I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So I gave it a 7 because of the structure thing. But after discussing it and letting it cook a bit, because I wrote this like within an hour or two of seeing it.
Yeah.
I think I could give it a 4. Yeah. I think giving it some time to cook. I would probably give it a half star up because
let him cook.
I think it's like about an 8 for me, like out of 10.
I'd say 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, that's what it is for me.
I think just coming out of it, I was very like just wowed. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
The visuals are insane.
I agree.
Dude, they got to make it edit. I've seen the edits with Christopher Nolan where it's like, let him cook.
Dude,
let him cook. Like, it gets more intense.
Let him cook now.
They got to, yeah. They got to do one with Wes Anderson, bro.
I agree.
Gosh. Anyway. So hold on.
You got anything else?
There might be news about his next film that was already announced, which is insane.
Yo, let Nick cook.
Let's see.
Let him cook now.
let me search.
Bro, that audio is so funny.
Dude, I want that to be my alarm clock.
Oh my, bro, that'd actually be fucking funny. Imagine.
Okay, so the new Wes Anderson movie that's coming out, it's called The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Okay.
This is a Roald Dahl book. You know, he did like Charlie the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, okay.
He wrote like those books. I think all I've heard is that Adrian Brody's going to be in it, and it's supposedly supposed to come out later this year.
Really?
Yeah, which surprised me. 2 Wes Anderson movies in a year.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like a short. I don't know if it's maybe like a 30-minute movie. And also Bill Murray's going to be in it.
As he should.
So Bill Murray is making his appearance. But I don't know. Okay. It's releasing on Netflix. And it's only 37 minutes long.
Okay, that makes sense.
So this makes a lot more sense.
Hey, well, bro, we eating good this year.
Dude, yeah. For real, dude.
Do you have a release date?
No, I'm guessing sometime maybe like in the fall.
Yeah.
Maybe like December. You know, Netflix is very like, they'll announce what's coming to Netflix like month to month.
Yeah, they'll probably do it like the week before it comes out.
And I'm guessing if it's like a short, we won't really get a trailer. Maybe they'll just be like, oh, it's out there.
I'm cool with that. I actually, sometimes I prefer going into things knowing nothing. If it's like directed or written or something by somebody I like their work, then a lot of times I'll be like, oh, like I know they'd be cooking. Let me go in raw. Pause.
Let me go in raw. Hold on. I'm trying to get a plot synopsis for this. This book.
What's the book called again? The
Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. It's based on the eponymous short story contained in the 1977 collection of books.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh, Ralph Fiennes is going to be in it too.
Okay.
He's played Okay, so
Oh, you got the plot?
yeah, it's
Okay,
the film's separated into 4 parts, which are known as Roald Dahl's darker and most sinister tales, and the performers portray a variety of characters in each chapter, which builds to the main Henry Sugar story.
Okay.
So it's only 37 minutes. It might be I mean, this looks like a horror Wes Anderson. I don't know.
If it's like darker and horror theme, that sounds. I would love to see how that set looks, like how
Yeah.
the production.
Well,
design
even though
and
Roald
that.
Dahl wrote like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and like a lot of kids' books, he does have like some pretty dark literature. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, I'm excited this coming out later. Fuck Netflix,
Yo.
but I'll watch it.
Maybe it'll come out around October then.
Hopefully. Yeah, possibly. That
Yeah.
that probably looks like it. So let us know in the comments if you liked Asteroid City, if you saw
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. If you
let
have a
us-
favorite Wes Anderson movie,
Oh yeah. If you put right now, what's your favorite Wes Anderson movie is?
yeah, let us know.
I'd probably say mine right now is not counting this one, just because that's not fair.
Okay.
I'd say Isle of Dogs or
Okay.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I think Fantastic Mr.
that
Fox
one
is
goes
my
so
favorite.
hard, dude.
I love that movie.
I love when they break into like the farms and stuff. It's so
Yeah.
dude, that's so funny. It's
It's
such a good movie.
It's like a just like yeah, like
Feel good.
feel good, yeah,
Feel good
movie. Anyway, that's the review.
Yeah, I think that's all we got to say on Asteroid City.
I agree. Hey, we'll see you guys on the next review, and make sure to follow us, Cosmic Kickback, everywhere on Instagram, on Twitter. Our letterboxes are down below.
Follow us on Threads.
Oh my God, did you make a Threads
It's
account?
the new Twitter. Not for Cosmic, but I can.
I haven't made one for anything. I heard about it, and then I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next episode, and yeah.
Goodbye.